The swarm brought ruin to our world. Our proud people became refugees. And yet, they could not shatter our unity. For we are bound by the Kala, the sacred union of our every thought and emotion. Today, we retake our homeworld, and with it, we retake our homeworld. We retake our home. We retake. I am one.
Hello everybody and welcome back. This is CSO's Contender number 21. My name's Linglad and I'll be soloing for a little while. And yeah, let me bring you guys up to scratch. We've got a nice 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 players, some regular players in the bracket. Let me see if I can get that up for you. Here we go. Here's the bracket. You'll see some pretty familiar names indeed. We got quite a decent showing here. Quite a lot of diamond players and some really high MMRs, almost at the threshold of this contender. This being the MMR capped event, one of the MMR capped events that CSO brings to you, the viewers, and to the players. This one capped at 4480, so I think that's the Ender Diamond one. And yeah, looks like we got a pretty decent turnout. I mean, we're pretty much ready to kick this one off. We've got our first map, our first match for this afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you're tuning in from, is going to be E-Legacy, or yeah, E-Legacy versus Bullock Jr. So, two very familiar names in the CSO Contender. And we'll see what these two have in store for us. Players are ready. We do have our map picks, so there's a best of 3 and this best of 3. We're going to have first map's going to be Hardwire. Second map, Glittering Ashes, and third map will be Proud of Altaris. So yeah, it looks like these players ready to get going, not mucking about. Veto's getting done. Both these players, as I said, very familiar names, very familiar people in the CSO tournament, this contender, so they know how the process goes, and we're ready to kick this one off with a nice ZVP. Hardwire loading up, and I'm pretty much looking forward. I'm glad to see at least 9 players showing up for this tournament, even though that DreamHack's on, and I think a lot of focus is going to be on DreamHack and you know, the watching the pros duke it out. Not sure who's playing right this very instant, but that doesn't matter. What matters now is the players spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. The red Zerg drones. It is Bullock Jr. and his opponent in the top right-hand corner. The blue Protoss probes. Nice to see these players choosing the tournament format colors. It is E-Legacy. Yep. So E-Legacy not going for that really early scout, going for just a normal gateway scout, not a pylon scout or immediately off the bat, and I think that's a fair call. Also pays off nicely with Bullock Jr. Just going for a 16 hatch, so both these players just opening up pretty standard, and we'll see how this game transpires with. I mean, E-Legacy seeing Bullock Jr. getting that spawning pool down now. E-Legacy gonna try to do a little bit of mineral harass, and we'll see just how much lost mining time gets E-Legacy is able to get done. There's one gate cybercore in the wall and one gateway expanser. Nothing too crazy happening, which is, I mean, good for both the players, and I mean, not good for the viewers, but it is going to be nice to see that both players don't miss any of the early game timings. Not at this MMR. They should have the first 4 to 6 minutes down to a T, and we'll see what transpires afterwards. From the first gate is going to be an adept, so just to plug that wall, and we'll see just how long it takes until one of these players tries to put a bit of aggression on. A little bit of a hatch block going on here. And there's going to be a pylon. Bullock Jr. not wasting any time. Going to start working on the pylon and getting that third hatch up as soon as possible. Lings do take care of that, and Overlord speed going to be the first bit of research that Bullock Jr. does. So the first 100 and something gas goes into Overlord speed. Definitely doesn't want to die to anything too silly, so he's going to make use of that Overlord that's probably on the high ground here. The Lings staying at home with the delayed metabolic boost for the Zerglings. Probably not a good idea to send those out on the map too soon, but yeah, just drones at the moment now for Bullock Jr. Trying to catch up in that work account. Stargate finishing up here for E-Legacy, which isn't surprising, and it is going to be a Void Ray. We'll see just how many Void Rays E-Legacy makes. Is it going to be Void into double Oracle, or maybe even triple Oracle. We'll see, that seems to have been pretty common at the moment. Bullock Jr. is going to see the Void Ray building in the Stargate there. You can see it being warped in quite nicely. As Legacy takes the third base at the 12 o'clock position. Bullock Jr. catching up in that work account. There's only 3 drones behind at the moment, but creep spread not looking too bad. Couple active tumors. Might be on cooldown. This one just finished cooldown, so yeah, Borjo's gonna start to work away at this OV, and he's actually gonna get that first Overlord. A couple Lings are gonna get in there, and 4 Lings are definitely not gonna be enough to take on 1 Adept and 2 Stalkers, so no denial on that third base, but yeah, this Void Ray stepping a bit far to creep, and there's going to be 5 Queens to meet her. Oh yeah, that Void Ray needs to hardtail it out of there. Yeah, Bullock Jr. now spreading some creep. Looking to push that creep out as Spore Crawler is going to start here in the main base, but it's definitely going to be too late for to do anything for this extractor that's going to get prismatically aligned down. 1 green does start nibbling away at this Void Ray, but it's not going to be enough to stop this extractor going down. Oh, is it? Oh yeah. Bullock Jr. is not exactly comfortable with map vision. Let's have a look at the map vision of Bullock Jr. Yeah, Bullock Jr. is not seeing very much. He's got 1 Ling heading up. It now spots the 4th base just as it's about to finish. So yeah, Legacy Bullock Jr. just a little bit behind in terms of economy at the moment, but does have a pretty high queen count. 11 queens on the map here, 65 drones. That's the only unity Legacy has. 8 roaches being made, so I mean, not too sure how I feel about the 8 roaches. They don't have any speed. This +1 is only literally just started now. They will have carapace, so they will last a little bit longer, but right now there's nothing that shoots up. 6 muters fire up, and yeah, I'm not too sure how Bullock Jr. wants to approach this map there. Voids are making their way across here. There's 5 voids here. The queens are rotating around. It's a lot of creep tumors. The creep spread's not that great from Bullock Jr., but we'll see if these queens do make their way down fairly quickly. Bullock Jr. now has vision of these Void Rays, and yeah, I think they're just gonna target down the queen and then target down the hatch is sort of what I expect. Yeah, there's enough queens show up here, and some good transfusions to keep that hatch alive. First Void Ray goes down, second Void Ray is gonna go down, and this is gonna be a safe hatch from Bullock Jr. Yeah, spreading some creep, and I'd like to see him take another base pretty much immediately. I mean, these voids are gonna hardtail their way out of here, but on the side of the Legacy, couple cannons, couple gateways, like a pretty nice wall off over here. Stop any sort of Lings running by, and yeah, Legacy and Bullock Jr. both floating more than 1,000 minerals at the moment, so we'll see. Bullock Jr. hasn't shown his hand yet. He's got 12 mutas banked up here in the south side, here at around the 7 o'clock position, and that's going to be good. These 3 void rays do pop in here, and they start to work at a couple drones and an extractor. Queen's going to be called back into this. Oh, a spore crawler starting to do a bit of work on the shields of one of these voids, and yeah, the queens do show up. They are actually going to be able to chase back this void. Oh, that one void ray just manages to make it up, but there's, wow, the shot from this one spore crawler, and yeah, void rays going to target down this roach warren, and the mutas are now going to show themselves. Yeah, does Bullock Jr. save this roach warren? He does indeed, but the mutas have now shown themselves as the first carrier starts here. So, oh, I'm sorry, the third carrier starts. I mean, E-Legacy taking a different route to getting into the Golden Armada, but yeah, carrier and some Phoenix starts. So we'll see what Bullock Jr. wants to do with these Mutalisks. Infestation Pit goes down, and yeah, Bullock Jr. still stuck on 4 bases, not taking a 5th, or yeah, these mutas in these pretty high numbers are going to be able to start to target these units down. One carrier goes down. These Mutalisks are going to be so annoying. Oh, they target down the pylon that's powering the Stargates. Oh, and they're going to target down that forge. These Mutalisks in such high numbers. I mean, they're targeting down 3 shots in these carriers. Shield battery overcharge is, oh, one hell of a drug, and it's just not going to be enough. These mutas in pretty high numbers like this are starting to target down these stalkers. They're taking them out one by one, shield battery overcharge or not. A pretty decent warping of stalkers, and I mean these Archons are something that Bullock Jr. needs to be careful of. 9 more Mutalisks in production. Yeah, the Archons are now, I mean, that splash is going to be definitely got to be something that they need to be careful of. Another pylon here. This pylon's powering that one photon cannon. Yeah, that cannon goes down, and these probes are going to be easy pickings. I mean, you don't need to be going anywhere near that cannon, but if you want to, yeah. More Mutalisks are rallying across the map. They are rallying across these cannons, and a couple of them aren't going to make it to their control group, but yeah, Bullock Jr. pretty much at max supply. Oh, 24 probes going down. This is some really good damage from these Mutalisks. Bullock Jr. hiding them in the corner before he was ready to show his hand, and I'd really like to see him double, or even double, at least double expand behind this. I mean, take this base, and really solidify his position on the bottom half of the map. But yeah, Bullock Jr. with quite a bit of a bank. Actually, both players with quite a bit of a bank. These Zealots now, they are going to start to move across the map and see what sort of counter harassment they can get done. I mean, that queen's not going to last very long, and neither are these drones. Yeah, Bullock Jr. really needs to use some of those roaches that he made earlier. They still have those roaches? Yeah, there's 6 roaches and some ravagers in the main base, but this is going to be a dead 4th hatchery. E-Legacy currently up 1 base, or up to 5 bases, so up 2 bases at the moment, and yeah, Mutalisks not gonna do too well against these Zealots. They do just run by and actually just, are they gonna get this queen? They won't get this queen, but yeah, Bullock Jr.'s taking a bit of damage. 9 more drones going down, and I mean Bullock Jr. is now 20 workers behind and 2 bases. So, oh, this Zealot's gonna get this queen. Wow. That's really unfortunate here for Bullock Jr. But I mean, +1 air weapons is on the way, and it has 27 Mutalisks. So Bullock Jr. not in that bad of a position, but I mean, finally retaking his 4th base, and I really wish he would take a 5th and a 6th. This one Zealot looking for scouting information, and yeah, these mutas now pop in here. There are 26 probes here, and looks like these 26 probes are going to get taken out fairly quickly. Some Phoenix show up. They don't have Phoenix range just yet, but with Stalkers and Archons, the mutas definitely have to reposition somewhere else. Oh, they do jump on these Phoenixes as they pop out, and there'll be a dead couple Phoenixes. It's the Archons that Bullock Jr. really needs to be careful of. Is Um, the splash damage from those Archons is going to be so powerful. Bullock Jr. still trying to stay on 4 bases. Yeah, I really think that double expanding is definitely the right way out of this game for Bullock Jr. He's got 7,000 minerals in the bank and not that much gas, but I mean these zealots that are just running by, they're all going to go up into the main where I believe the Roach Ravager army is, and that's probably Bullock Jr.'s saving grace. Otherwise, yeah, those zealots they've already torn through these workers on this 4th base location. A couple zealots they're going to start to catch a couple of queens. One queen goes down so far. Some good transfusions on the second one, but some really good transfusions to keep that queen alive. But I mean, these zealots are now working on this hatchery, and this is going to be a dead 4th base, and E-Legacy doing a really good job of keeping Bullock Jr. down on bases while chasing these mutas around. Bullock Jr. really needs to get some of these necks down, and yeah, he's gonna try to go up into the main again. 2 cannons there. I mean, you really don't want to be fighting that. Fight these 2 cannons over here. Gonna work on this pylon, shut down the fleet beacon and these 2 stargates, but yeah, E-Legacy is saying, well, I mean, it's going into a bit of a base trade scenario, but E-Legacy needs to know that these Mutalisks can't particularly engage these Archons. They clump up way too much, and these queens are just going to be cannon fodder for the Roach Ravager Hydra army. Some good corrosive vials land, but with 5 Archons and a couple Stalkers, I think this might just be a little bit too much DPS here on the side of E-Legacy. Majority of the ground army is gone. E-Legacy is losing the majority of his main base, but the army, the DPS here for E-Legacy is a bit higher than that of... Actually, I can't say the DPS is higher than Bullock Jr., but I mean, E-Legacy is up 2 bases at the moment. The worker count is ridiculously even. I don't expect Bullock Jr. to have... well, he's lost 33 drones, and E-Legacy's probe count is, I mean, really, really low, but yeah, Bullock Jr. is down to 2 bases, the main and the natural, and these Mutalisks are coming all the way home. There's really not many structures left here on the side of Bullock Jr., even though the supplies are fairly even. Yeah, there's all that's here is 25 Mutalisks on the side of Bullock Jr. A good spread on these mutas to stop them from taking that much splash damage, but I mean it's 5 bases against 1 at the moment on the side of E-Legacy. 12 workers to 23. Yeah, E-Legacy making 5 probes at a time. Not much mining going on here, but Bullock Jr. has a serious bank. Decided to take this hatchery location, which I find rather strange. The Zealot is going to catch his 4th base going down again, and yeah, these mutas are going to show themselves as being at home, and the dust settles here, and it's 28 probes to 11. I mean, E-Legacy making 5 probes at a time, and probably chronoing them as well. Maybe not. Maybe not chronoing the probes, but definitely making 5 probes at a time, and I mean, the mineral income is greatly skewed on the side of E-Legacy. These Stalkers trying to take on these Mutalisks. The Mutalisks have +1, the Stalkers have +3. So, I mean, probably not a fight the Mutalisks should be trying to take, but yeah, I mean, trying to minimize how much damage or how much economy the Protoss can get up while trying to get up to 4 bases yourself is probably something that, I mean, most of the tech that was in the main base has been taken out. There's one Stargate that still remains unpowered, but yeah, E-Legacy up to 6 bases is now taking that 6 base location. Well, it's going to go down to 5 at the moment, but yeah, E-Legacy up 6 bases, almost quadruple the amount of workers. Even though Bullock Jr. still has quite a bit of a bank, is really starting to work away at these structures. Still making Mutalisks and 1 Infestor on the way, so Yeah, Bullock Jr. is gonna try to take this fight against these stalkers. There's no shield battery here to help, so some good splits there on the side of E-Legacy, just to try minimize that. I don't know if it's called a glaive, but it's like a bouncing glaive that the Mutalisks do, where he has some good splits there, trying to minimize the amount of damage the mutas get done. But yeah, mutas just rotating around from place to place. There's one infestor on this control group. I don't know how long this infestor's gonna last. There's no fungal coming out of that. It's pretty much a dead infestor. Bullock Jr. Sees this fresh space in the top left hand corner. I think it's got to be a dead nexus. His stalkers aren't following the mutas around, and the mutas with +1 are gonna finish off the nexus. You get it? So he's gonna manage to get the nexus and the bouncer. That Mutalisk attack does get that pylon, but yeah, I mean, as the dust settles, there's really just stalkers and Mutalisks just fighting it out. The mutas just mobility of the mutas just outmaneuvering the stalkers. But yeah, Bullock Jr.'s just got 27 drones. Where are these 27 drones? 13 and 4, that's 17. Okay, 6 more. 6 more, okay. 10 more. Transferring over here. Bullock Jr. He's trying to get that main nexus. Not going to get the main nexus. It's quite a large clump of stalkers over here. But yeah, Bullock Jr.'s gonna start to these drones making it this hatchery are rallying to these mineral patches here, so probably not the most efficient hatchery location to take, but yeah, this game 1 is calming down. We are at 106 supplies for both players at the 21-minute mark, so neither player wanting to tap out of a game they think they still have a chance in. And yeah, Bullock Jr. now trying to get that cybernetics cord. Has been unpowered, so yeah, Bullock Jr. just gonna fly around and try to be as annoying as possible. Yeah, mutas getting that Twilight Council, so Templar Archive. So Templar Archive is going to be restarted again. Is this Nexus going to be killed? That's a cancel, not a kill. Ooh. You can just see the splash damage from those Archons. Just way too much. Those Mutalisks do clump up quite a bit, and yeah, they do take quite a bit of damage here, but the army supplies here. Oh, a couple lurkers. That's not something that E-Legacy needs to be moving into, and I don't think the army of E-Legacy is in a position to take on lurkers. Yeah, to deal with the Mutalisks, E-Legacy is in a really great position, but to take on lurkers, that's definitely not the army composition. It's just, that's a dead hatchery. Kill not a cancelled. Lurkers do burrow, and there's absolutely no detection here on the side of E-Legacy, so yeah, these lurkers are going to buy Bullock Jr. quite a lot of time. Adaptive talent's being researched now, so even though Bullock Jr. got taken down to 2 bases, 1 base, really, yeah, some nice army split here on the side of E-Legacy. He's going to kill this 3rd base location. The lurkers, some more lurkers morphing in here, but yeah, nothing to actually deal with the split army composition here. I do like Bullock Jr. sending the Mutalisks across the map. Wow, 41 drones going down. That's crazy. I did want to mention earlier that Bullock Jr. had caught up in that worker count. Was sitting at about 57 when last I checked. But yeah, unfortunately, losing 40 of those drones in this little counter harass here. Some zealots are going to find this hatchery at the 3 o'clock location. It's a weird location for a hatch, but yeah, Bullock Jr. now down to this one little mining base. It's down 35 workers. This base is up relatively safely. This base is up relatively safely. And yeah, E-Legacy's mined out of the main, mined out of the natural. Has 2 more mining bases. Oh, those zealots got taken care of. Those muters are being watched too well, and I'm gonna get picked off. The Stargate has remained completely unpowered, and it's finally gonna get picked off here. Legacy losing his main completely, but I think he's in a much better position than Bullock Jr. He's now an observer, so there is detection for those lurkers. Adaptive Talents was the first upgrade that Bullock Jr. went for, and that is going to allow for faster lurker burrowing, but Seismic Spines is about halfway done, about 60% of the way done now, and that's really the range upgrade that Bullock Jr. needs. These observer is gonna siege up in this location. A couple zealots are gonna they've actually made their way all the way up into the main, and they start to work away at the hive, but this third base location is kinda undefended, and unless these lurkers can get some ridiculous lurkers are just too good. Wow. Lurkers getting some ridiculous damage here is this hatchery might just survive, but with not much health, and only 10 workers left up here on the side of Bullock Jr. That's not really a good position. The army supply of E-Legacy has really been taken out, but the 32 worker advantage is not something that I think Bullock Jr. can overcome pretty easily. These lurkers, though, they're in a pretty good position. They're going to deny mining on this base. Mutalisks are working at the base in the top left. That nexus is dead. If these lurkers can just reposition a bit further, did Seismic Spines finish up? Yes, Seismic Spines definitely finished up. So these lurkers now have their range. They have adapted talent, so this is going to be a dead nexus here. Most of those muters get taken out. There's only 2 left now. So yeah, lurker's gonna move forward. Be a dead forge as well, so no more cannons on the side of Bullock Jr. On the side of E-Legacy. I do like the addition of the disruptor. Oh, there's one free lurker. The rest of the lurkers burrow, and that's there is a little bit of detection there with that observer. I don't know if the rest of the lurkers are in detection range, but yeah, this is a nice siege location for Bullock Jr. He's down to 50 supply, 12 workers. Bullock Jr. really trying to make these lurkers work. Oh, good purification over there, but one purification over isn't going to be enough to take out these lurkers. Bullock Jr. back into making drones, so good repositioning there on that one really low HP lurker. Yep. E-Legacy though, this 9 o'clock position under siege yet again. Some transferring drones, freshly made drones are gonna start to get picked off. There's now 2 disruptors, and yeah, I think 2 disruptors is just not gonna be enough here for Bullock Jr. His economy is in absolute shambles. Not one mining base at the moment. This base gets taken out, and I pretty much think this is the end of the game. Like, unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately, Bullock Jr. just good repositioning there. Just not going to be able to take on E-Legacy, who has 4 times the amount of workers that he does, and yeah, he's on 3 mining bases, well, 2 in a touch for now. Long distance mining in the top left hand corner. Bullock Jr. really only has these 2 mineral patches that he's mining from, and yeah, GG gets called, and that's going to be game 1, 28-minute long game 1. Wow, that was a pretty intense game 1, and yeah, very nicely done there by E-Legacy. The addition of those disruptors at the end there to deal with the lurkers is pretty much the correct response. You know, the those mutas got a lot done, and yeah, those mutas got a lot done, and really put Bullock Jr. in that game for a lot longer than I thought it was going to be in. Um, we will see. Game 2 is going to be Glittering Ashes. Now we'll see what these players have in store for us. I mean, Bullock Jr. really fighting his heart out at the end there with those lurkers, but yeah, we'll see if he can bring it back. I can confirm that Elaine has beaten Defiance 2-0 and is on to our first semi-final. The rest of the games are still playing it out, which I'm not too surprised by. Yeah, players ready, go is the call. And yeah, we're gonna get this one going. These two players definitely faced off quite a bit, and we'll see what game 2 has in store for us. If it's half as good as game 1, it's really gonna be a banger. So Glittering Ashes, I must say I really do like this map, so I hope this PVZ is gonna do the map some justice. But let's introduce these players. In the top right hand corner, the Red Zerg drones, down 1-0, looking to bring it back. It's Bullock Jr. His opponent in the bottom left hand corner, with some good tech switches in the last game, and we'll see if he can close out this series 2-0. It's the blue Protoss player, E-Legacy. Yeah, I mean, Bullock Jr. that last game, keeping those Mutalisks hidden in the corner. A very, very cheeky thing to do, but definitely paid off at the end. Only pulling those mutas to deal with those void rays, and those mutas going across the map to get quite a bit done. I think Bullock Jr. didn't have those roaches and ravagers in the main base on a hotkey, or else those could have been used in a defensive position to keep that that third or fourth base alive. I think if Bullock Jr. used those roaches and ravagers a bit more defensively to keep those two bases alive, it was definitely in a building a lot of momentum to get that to get the win in that game. But going down all those bases all the time is just something that I don't think you can afford to do, and might have been what cost him the game. But speaking of that game and this game, Bullock Jr. is going to see a really late hatchery in the natural. Legacy is going to see a really late hatchery in the natural, and must be wondering, wait a second, what's going on here? Why is that hatchery so delayed? The reason for that is there's a hatchery at 6 o'clock, and that's super cheeky out of Bullock Jr. I mean, E-Legacy is never going to look in that location for a proxy. Oh, cancels the hatchery. What? E-Legacy going back to have a look, and is now going to see, wait a second, what's going on here? Proxy spine crawler is Proxy Spine Crawler Rush is what we're gonna get. Legacy sees these links moving across the map and has to be wondering, wait a second, what's going on here? This is pre-latex, so we no creep getting dropped by the overlords, but yeah, 3 spawns and a spore. The creep tumor being placed down here by this queen, so now Legacy sees what's up and is gonna be, alarm bells are definitely gonna be ringing. Sees 3 spawn crawlers and a spore crawler, so I like the addition of the spore there, just to keep, in case there's a Stargate play and in case there's Void Rays or something. But yeah, a couple shield batteries and pretty much a solid wall here on the side of Legacy. We'll see how Legacy holds here. This creep tumor's done. The Queen could probably put down another one. Yeah, 30 energy. Queen could definitely put down another one. All that's got to be for an injection. No other units other than these lings have been made, so I think Bullock Jr. is really hoping that the Spine Crawler can get quite a bit, the Spine Crawler Rush can get quite a bit done, but I mean a 3rd shield battery is now on the way for Legacy, and I think Legacy might just have enough to hold this. The spines are now in range of the cybernetics core. Second spine is going to burrow up, but warp gate's going to be done in time. One of these spine crawlers is a little bit forward. Bullock Jr. floating a bit of money. I mean, it'd be good to see a couple more spines being incorporated into this. And Immortal shows up and he's going to start to work away at that first spine crawler. I would like to see some good transfusions going down. Just keep that spine quite healthy, or a few extra spine crawlers for sure. Yeah, that one spine crawler gets targeted down. Shield battery overcharge gets used, and this is going to be a pretty decent hold. There's a nice transfusion on that spine crawler, but 1 Immortal and 4 Stalkers I think might be enough to defeat 1 spine and 3 queens, and this is going to be oh no, there's a 2nd Immortal out. Wow. Yeah, I think this is just going to be a solid hold here by Legacy, and it's going to be a failed spine crawler rush on the side of Bullock Jr. unfortunately. It was nice to see Bullock Jr. do something a little bit cheeky. I don't know if he really needed to cancel that hatchery in the natural. I think that hatchery in the natural sort of just said, hey wait, something cheeky's going on, and forced Bullock Jr. to, yeah, GG. Yeah, that cancelling that natural hatchery forced Bullock Jr. to say, hey wait a second, something's going on here. Alarm bells ringing all over the show, and sort of said, hey, I'm cheesing you. Whereas I think if Bullock Jr. lets that hatchery finish, Legacy might just think, whoa, build order completely off, and build order completely off, and I'm in such a good position. And yeah, unfortunately there for Bullock Jr., Legacy went back in to check that that hatchery was still there, and yeah, feels bad, but yeah, Legacy getting the 2-0 and moving on to the next round. I mean, speaking of the next round, and speaking of the next round, we've got Legacy gonna take on AME 1301. Not too sure. Oh, that's Mike AME. But yeah, let's see if I can get my next game up ready for you guys in a few moments. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back with some more CSO Contender 21. Like I said, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Flawless victory. Get over! Your destiny. Flawless victory. Fight! Finish him.
Excellent. Cyrax. Sector. Smoke. Motaro. Jade. Kitana. Scorpion. Sub-Zero. Sonya. Jax. Melina. Johnny Cage. Raiden. Kung Lao. Reptile. Come on. You can. Sit down. Ermac. Sheila. Rain. Psylocke. Shao Kahn.
Hello everybody and welcome back. I mean, yeah, this next game is kicked off a little bit faster than I expected, but I mean, as you can see, we're right into this one. Blackburn's going to be the first map between this player in the bottom right hand corner, the Red Terran SCVs, goes by the name of Dark Mako, and his opponent in the bottom left hand corner with this really cool skin, opening up with pool first. For Team Yashi, it's 11. Yeah, we're gonna have a TVZ on Blackburn. Nice. Let's see. Darkmaker. Gonna send this SCV out to scouting. He's gonna see a delayed natural hatchery here on the side of Yashi, so SCV is going to go up into the main and see the timing of their pool and that gas, and it's going to know, oh, let's pool first. Not 12 pool, but it was definitely pool first. Maybe it was a 12 pool. I wasn't paying that much attention. But yeah, Darkmaker going to send this SCV up here, and he's just going to put him on patrol. Just to block the third timing. This it's gonna be a Roach Warren, so 11 looking to hit pretty hard this early in game 1. Sending these lings around, and let's see if they can get anything done. Reaper pops out and is on its way across the map now, so yeah, absolutely nothing at home to defend for this Reaper just yet. It's gonna hop up. Oh, is it gonna hop up? Yeah, it's gonna. Oh, no, it's just chilling. And the Queen pops up, and the Queen is gonna be enough to deter this Reaper. It's a good grenade there from the Reaper. Does keep it. Let's keep it alive. These roaches are going to start to make their way across the map. Oh yeah, you definitely would have seen the Roach Warren and 2 bunkers starting up now on the high ground. So Darkmaker pretty okay. I think Darkmaker's going to do a pretty decent job of surviving this. The mine, I'm not too sure about the mine against roaches. I mean, it's only 1 gas on the side of 11, so I don't think there's going to be too many Ravagers mixed in with this. There's 1 Ravager now. These roaches are going to start to work away at this high ground bunker. Yeah, 1 Marine does pop into the bunker, and that bunker's going to go down pretty quickly. Widowmine doing quite a bit of damage on that on the roaches, but I mean, this 1 roach is going to go down. The 1 roach does go down, steps up the ramp and goes down. There's now a way in here for 11 into the main base of the Terran player. Oh, Corrosive Bulb doing a pretty good job of taking out that SCV. The roaches are just gonna waltz past that bunker and say, well, bunker or no bunker, we're just going in here. Ravager gets surrounded, and that's gonna be a pretty quick hold here on the side of Dark Mako. That SCV is still patrolling that third base location, so that's gonna be denied there. The dust settles. There's no. Oh, there's a natural CC. It is an orbital. Head up and float over. And yeah, as the dust settles, 11 taking a forward third base, not taking the 9 o'clock position, which a little bit interesting. But I mean, if 11 wants to keep up the pressure, that makes sense to have that forward location, just to take get the creep spread going a bit closer to your opponent, a bit faster. A couple more units in production here. A couple more army units in production, I should say, for 11. A few more roaches. 6 more drones on the way, so definitely looking to get up to some sort of economy and get started. Was a 1-1-1 opener here, 2cc 1-1-1 opener. It was a good hold on the side of Dark Mako. A couple extra racks going down, so yeah, this OV takes a hit from the Widow Mine and is going to go down fairly easily. Here's another Overlord just positioned just outside of Dark Mako's base, and I wonder when 11's going to send that one in. I mean, you don't want to be sacrificing Overlords too early, but yeah, tank shows up. Would like to see it positioned right there, sieged up. Nice, that's it. Good position there for Dark Mako to be defending. A lot of drones just rallied over here, and I'm not too sure if 11 is aware of that, if the rally of the drones is slightly off, but they should be mining. Pretty sure it was a misclick. There we go. The drones do start mining, and 11's economy is just going to boost up quite a bit at the moment. He's up to 3 bases, 56 drones. Slowly starting to get that economy down. 3rd CC does start up here for Dark Mako, and yeah, looks like we're going to have a little bit of downtime while both players do start to get their upgrades going. Is Stim Pack on the way. There's 2 more reactors. Another tech lab on this factory. Is we're going to be doing Stim and combat shields one at a time. So yeah, 2nd NG Bay finishes up now, and 1-1 is on the way for Dark Mako. +1 missile attacks has been done for quite a while for 11. +1 Carapace about to finish now, as well as quite a few more roaches show up. Roach speed done, and yeah, 11 is going to start to make his way through these rocks. Still no 4th base in sight. One of the another Overlord goes down. Was 11 was supply blocked for a moment there. 4 more OVs on the way, so that supply block's going to be fixed for quite a while. But the 4th base goes down at the 9 o'clock position, which I must say I do like. 4th minute hatchery. We didn't see that in our previous matchup, and I think 11's got himself into a pretty, always getting himself into a pretty decent position. There's quite a lot of Roach Ravager positioned here at the low ground for Dark Mako. Widow Mine's going to get pretty good shot off. That tank on the high ground is in such a good position to be shelling away at these roaches and ravagers moving in. But I like this from 11, moving into the natural and saying, well, you know, your tank's not going to be able to hit us from behind here, so we're just going to stop you mining from this location. But this double medevac drop is going to start to take out this 9 o'clock position. That needs to be a cancel, and isn't. That's a solid kill on that base. 1 Ravager remains behind 11. I think might have just F2'd there a little bit, which is, I mean, that's okay. These double medevac drop. He's going to drop here into the natural, and he's going to get this Hydralisk Den, I think. Yeah, that Hydralisk Den pretty much going to go down. Oh, it's not. Wow. Okay. Hydralisk Den stays alive. And 11 still has his Roaches and Ravagers positioned here in the natural base of Dark Mako. So 11 in a pretty decent position, denying mining of one base. Dark Mako is going to need a couple more tanks. Just gonna want to break the siege. He does have this double medevac drop, which is doing a bit, but not going to do enough against this Roach Ravager army. As yeah, 11's just going to try to take that 9 o'clock position. Oof. A couple of corrosive balls is going to get that tank, and yeah, I think 11's going to have enough. Oh, as I say that. Oh, another tank gets corrosive bile down, and these are some really nice biles on the side of 11. Denying this mining off of the space here for quite a bit of time. Oh, that's a lot of morphing Ravagers. Oh, yeah, Dark Mako doesn't want to be engaging into those, or decided didn't want to be engaging into those. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty tight choke point that 11's going to be pushing up into, but yeah, with that amount of Ravage, is going to be able to quite easily bow down these tanks. And as these units pop out of the barracks and out of the production facilities, they are going to start to get picked off. Is this going to be enough? Oh, that's such a nice corrosive bile. Is this going to be enough Ravages to actually deal with everything here? SCVs are now getting pulled, and I mean that's even lost mining time of the main base here. Oh, good corrosive biles here by 11. The double medevac drop has shown up in the 4th base location, and he's going to reposition up here into the main. Oh, there are a few Ravagers here waiting for that double medevac drop. As 34 SCVs, 35 SCVs going down. Yeah, I think 11's got this one. There's some really good Roach Ravager pressure. This natural CC is just hanging around over here. Yeah, GG gets called. Wow, what a solid game there by 11. Yeah, I mean that was a pretty solid game, and played by Team Yashi's 11, and yeah, that double medevac drop getting quite a bit done, and I mean even forcing an F2 there from 11. But yeah, Dark Mako not able to break the contain on his natural base, and 11 keeping him pinned back on one base is pretty decent. Has done a pretty decent job, and yeah, got the win there. Nice. Ooh, Berlingrad is going to be our next map. It is the dog map. So yeah, I mean you guys can hear that countdown started. These players are not messing around. Yeah, this game is ready to go. GLHF gets called, and good luck from this man in the top left hand corner of Berlingrad with the orange Zerg drones playing for Team Yashi. It's 11, and his opponent in the bottom right hand corner, the red Terran SCVs, losing game 1 to some serious Roach Ravager pressure, but looking to bring it back. It's Dark Mako. Yeah, I mean, it is going to be hatch first here on the side of 11. No early pools this time. 16 hatch. Probably 18 gas, 17 pool. Yeah, Dark Maker's SUV is going to come in and have a look, and should already know from that hatchery time. And that was hatch first. Hatch gas pool, pretty standard opener here. Reaper on the way. So Dark Maker not skipping the Reaper. He's going to go Reaper into natural expansion. He knows he can take that natural on location and will be fine. So, yeah, 11 even sending out this drone. SCV gonna block that third base location at the 9 o'clock, but 11 sending out a really early drone to make sure you can take that triangle base. Yeah, it takes that triangle base, and Dark Maker is going to check. Oh, sees it. Yep, sees the third base timing. That's pretty early third actually. So yeah, the Reaper showing himself as he's going to start to work away at these Zerglings. One Zergling going down. Ooh. Yeah, one Zergling going down, but the Queen does show up, and that should be enough to drive the Reaper away. Gonna be drones, drones, drones from now on. Natural expansion on the side of Dark Mako finishes up and starts converting itself into an orbital. Factory and the barracks do swap over, and looks like it's going to be reacted Hellions, I guess. Yeah, 2 cars at a time. This Overlord's just going to come in at about the 320 something mark, and let's have a look at what's actually going on here. Sees it's a 1-1-1 opening. No quick third CC, but I think as soon as this OV dies, it wouldn't be a bad idea to throw that CC down. Or not. Or don't kill the OV, and the OV lives with 12 HP. Okay, Marine's coming back to deal with the OV. There we go. Yeah, OV gets dealt with, and yeah, as I said, wouldn't be a bad idea to throw that third CC down really soon, unless, I mean, Dark Maker wants to go into some pretty serious aggression. There's first medevac on the way. That's a really early medevac, considering there's 4 cars and a Reaper and a Marine that's just now going to start to nibble away at this OV. I mean, now's about the time I expect 11 to take a 4th base and yeah, start spreading some creep, looks like. 11's Wednesday's been sleeping a little bit, but saturating that 3rd base seems to be taking a bit of time. I suppose building up quite a few lings instead of focusing on drones too much. But yeah, it's about good time to take a 4th base location. Layers on the way. A couple spores coming down. Well, as I said, there's 1 spore coming down at the back of the main. No spores at all. And still no 3rd base. So 1-1-1 into an extra 2 racks here. Stim on the way for Dark Mako. His Hellions do morph into Hellbats, and it'll be a little bit tricky here. That Reaper just soaking so many hits. Good transfusions coming down on these Queens. One Hellbat. Oh, a couple Banelings do morph in, and oh man, what a catch that was. Those 2 Hellbats in the 1 medevac get picked off by the Queens, and that's going to be a very nice cleanup from 11. 11 can actually quite safely take another base. A little bit supply blocked at the moment. Is 11 with 4 more OVs on the way. Pretty sure he's waiting for those OVs to fire up as many drones as he can. It was a pretty solid cleanup. They had a boatload of drones coming to that third base location and 10 more in the production tab. Yeah, 11 doing a pretty good job of getting saturated on 3 bases so far. Well, not completely saturated, but pretty saturated on 3 bases so far. Throwing down 2 more hatcheries in the main base. Wow. 11 really getting set for a nice Ling Bane game, I think. Still no tech other than the Baneling nest. 3 more hatches. I mean, 1 at this 9 o'clock 4th base location and 2 more in the main. 13 more drones in production. Wow. Oh, good split there from 11. They're keeping those Lings alive. They're going to get us around on these Marines. They do get, wow, good solid surrounds on majority of these Marines. And yeah, Marines have to get picked up here. Oh, one Widow Mine gets picked up. And I mean, some Lings do stay in the natural mineral line there. And they are going to start to work away at these SCVs and a couple fresh mules. Wow. This is some really good damage here by 11. These Lings not really focusing on these Marines. Yeah, they do go into the Marines now. Oh, and that friendly fire damage is a bit much. 4 Hellions do drop down into this main base here, and these drones, they're not getting pulled, which is probably a good thing. I mean, they don't line up for these Hellions. 2 Hellions going down relatively quickly. Some good transfusions to keep them alive, and wow, only 5 drones going down. 11 playing such a solid game at the moment. Going up to 8 gases. Hydralisk Den on the way. And taking a 5th base location down here at about the 7 o'clock position. 7, 8 o'clock position. So, yeah, 11 playing a really, really good game. I'd like to see Mako probably throw down 3 or 4 more racks here. There's 2 more racks. And a 4th CC. I mean, this 3rd CC needs to be lifted off and go and make its way over to a 3rd base location. But I like the addition of the extra racks and an extra factory on the way. So, yeah, Mako trying to get that production up to scratch. +1 vehicle weapons on the way. Or yeah, +1 vehicle weapons. Going to make these Widow Mines a bit stronger, but there's nothing actually being produced out of the factory at the moment. Producing 1 Marine. Yeah, Mako floating quite a bit of money, and I think maybe thrown off by what 11 was able to get done in that early game. Lurker Den on the way with grooved spines here for the Hydra. So the Hydralisk speed and the Hydralisk range, well, Hydralisk range and then Hydralisk speed on the way. Hive has just started up, and 11 filling in the tech tree and pretty much trying to get all the upgrades you can. I mean, the only upgrades being researched out of the Evo chambers is melee and carapace, which is really going to help that Ling Bane. But oh, look at that ball of Ling Bane just moving around. Some really interesting little Banelings. But 11 expanding to the 12 o'clock position, up to 84 drones. Wow, 21 Hydras on the way. This triple hatchery in the main base is really something. Lings moving. Oh wow, what a Widow Mine that was. Lings moving into the 3rd base location here. They are Baneling's going to be able to take out pretty much all the SCVs there. Some Lings do try and make it into the natural, but they don't actually get too much purchase there. There's a tank on the high ground here, and he's going to do a little bit of friendly damage, friendly fire here, but 17 SCVs going down, and Dark Mako currently down 50 workers. So single medevac drop here is going to get this base at about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock position. Well, the Hydras and Lings are desperately trying to make their way over, and yeah, Hydras do show up. Does Dark Mako stay to finish off the base? He does. Picks up, gets, oh, and gets out of there. Nice. Nice. That's a win on the board for Dark Mako, and taking that 3rd base location. Trying to saturate that drilling claws, finishing up here. So those Widow Mines going to be a little bit more deadly, but yeah, first 3 lurkers on the way here. Seismic Spines on the way. Adrenal. 2-2 finishing up for 11. and Hydralisk speed. So yeah, 11 in a really good position here. These Lings, they do manage to get these Lings in the third base location here. They do draw a lot of friendly fire from the tank on the high ground. So yeah, Dark Mako doing a little bit of damage but keeping himself alive. Fourth base location at about the 3 o'clock position gets taken here for 11, so for Dark Mako, I beg your pardon. Yeah, quite a lot of Ling in Hydra Ling, 1 Baneling. Oh, that's a cancel. But I mean, these Hydras could just easily just pop up and say, "Oh, here we go, we're gonna do this." But I mean, I think this is the fight here, right? These lurkers, but the seismic spines do have that do have that range. Adaptive talents is on the way. It's not the upgrade they have at the moment, but yeah, these Hydra lurker, Ling Hydra lurker. I mean, a couple of Vipers in here just to yoink those tanks and medevacs into range of the units. Wow, 11, such a good dominant display, and taking the series quite convincingly 2-0. I mean, unlucky there for Mako. 11 played a really good game. Mako stabilized in that second game, and I'm well impressed with what he was able to do. Yeah, and I mean, as the dust settles there, we are going to have 11 take on a lane, but that's in the upper semi-final. In the lower semi-final, we are going to have Mark AME take on we're going to have Mark AME take on E-Legacy. So I mean, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back while I set that up for you guys, and yeah, I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Thanks for watching. Don't go anywhere.
The swarm brought ruin to our world. Our proud people became refugees. And yet, they could not shatter our unity. For we are bound by the Kala, the sacred union of our every thought and emotion. home. We retake.
Hello everybody, welcome back. So we are pretty much ready to kick off the first semi-final I have for you guys. There's gonna be Mike AME versus E Legacy. Go is the call from both of the players, and the countdown timer is starting. So I mean, I hope you guys are as ready for this PvZ as I am. I'm hoping it's gonna be as interesting as the E-Legacy Bullock Jr. one was, because I mean that very first game between E-Legacy and Bullock Jr. was really something else. And was it the first game with the muters? Oh, feels bad if I don't know. But that muter game from E-Legacy and Bullock Jr. really was something else. And yeah, we're gonna see, because I got hardwire again for you guys, so let's see what this PvZ looks like. Cause I know both of these players, and we'll see what they both bring to the table. As yeah, let's jump straight into this game. In the bottom left hand corner, the pink Zerg drones. Playing for Team Mike's, it's Mike AME. And his opponent in the top right hand corner, the red Protoss probes. Once again this evening, it's the red Protoss player E Legacy. Very nice StarCraft music. E Legacy once again going for the gateway scout. Mike just checking. Oh, boop. Safe to throw my natural hatchery down. 20 minutes late. Not that big of a deal. Cleaning bot number 86. They're all numbered 86 in case you were wondering. Probably the 86th edition of that cleaning bot. As you can see, number 86. Wonder what happened to number 85. It was recycled, or was just on some sort of like space garbage patch somewhere. Interesting. Oh, some good mineral Horatio on the side of E Legacy, so we'll see just how this game pans out. Gateway finishes up, and it's about time for a cybernetics core. Yeah, there we go. Good time for a cybernetics core. Gateway expansion into core, so pretty much as middle of the road as you can get so far. I think the only thing more middle of the road that we could possibly get is a Stargate. Let's see if that's going to be the tech of choice here on the side of your legacy, which I honestly wouldn't be surprised, not even in the slightest. But yeah, we'll see if Legacy wants to go into that Stargate play, and pretty much going to be a void. I expect it to be a void. No denying of this third base, but he's going to get the scout that the third hatchery exists. So yep, I mean, as I said, it will be a Stargate in solid range of that Overlord. So that OV is going to be able to scout everything that Stargate does, up until the moment the Void Ray pops and the Overlord dies. It's the only thing that's going to stop that OV. I mean, that Adept popping into the little nook there between the two mineral patches isn't going to be able to escape there, but does get 2 drones, so I mean, that's at least something. Stargate finishes up, and let's see exactly what the Legacy decides he wants to do with that. Yeah, no surprise there, it is a Void Ray. Mike, gonna move in with these OVs, says, okay, well, the Void Ray is coming, I'm definitely going to die here. Let's see what I can see. So, yeah, Ovi just making his way into the mains. I'm not going to see anything at all. The Void Ray instead going to start to work away at these lings that are just hovering around on the outside. Legacy going to take a 3rd base, so yeah. Void Ray does turn around. Yeah, Void Ray turns around. He's going to come take out that Overlord, which is nothing too surprising. Mike taking the 3rd base, saturating that relatively quickly. What's the queen count at? 6 queens, so 6 queens, not all that many, but definitely enough to deal with a Void Ray. 2nd Void Ray on the way. +1 air weapons get started while the fleet beacon gets thrown down in the main basin. And 2 more gates. So, 3 more gates. Very interesting. Void Ray. Gonna get another Overlord. Definitely gonna get another Overlord. 2 queens march forward, and I want to start to work away at this Void Ray. Oh, Void Ray flies into 4 queens. And he's gonna get out of there. Wow. Nice Void Ray. Save as the first carrier. And gets chronoed out. This is gonna be interesting. Those 3 gates that I mentioned earlier, finishing up right now, and they do convert into warp gates. So we'll see exactly what Legacy wants to do with those. A couple of Void Rays do show up. They're going to start to work away at this 4th base, but I mean the queens show up just in time. 4 queens definitely enough to take out these 2 voids. So yeah, the 2 voids do get shooed away rather easily as Mike starts to saturate the space, and I think Legacy's in for a bit of a tougher game than he had in the first one. I mean, the first one was pretty tough already as it is. Wow, 4 drones going down. Those queens just sort of not on the best rally they could have possibly been on, and started taking the long way around us. Yeah, the overseer of Mike, it's gonna come in and seize the fleet beacons. It must know. Wait a second there. Oh, there was a changeling that ran around somewhere here. I did see a changeling somewhere. Unless that got sniped fairly easily. Mike is now well aware that there are carriers on the map. Oh, I mean, this ledge here that the Void Rays get to abuse is rather frustrating to deal with, but one of the Void Rays goes down and the other one hardtails it out of there. Queen's probably going to reposition to the high ground. Yeah. A Spire going down here on the side of Mike as a 5th base gets taken, and a 6th base. Yes, this is really what I want to see. Like, if the Protoss is just going to stay at home and just amass Sky Toss, then I don't see why the Zerg should just not expand as much as possible. A lot of pros being transferred from the main base to probably to this fourth base. Yeah, pros being transferred from the main to the fourth base, but yeah, another OV gonna go down. Oh, is it? One queen versus one void ray. Queen looks like it's gonna win that battle. But yeah, as I said, I think the Protoss are just gonna chill at home and just amass some sort of sky toss. I don't see why the Zerg shouldn't just out expand and do what the Zerg is meant to do. A lot of corruptors on the field now. Let's have a look at the units tab. 4 carriers, 12 corruptors, 14 corruptors. 87 drones versus 80 probes. I mean, both of these players doing a really good job of getting up to that high economy number, and we'll see where they want to stop. Both players approaching max. Well, Legacy 155 out of 156 can be a little bit supply blocked unless it starts a few pylons, but Mike not messing around, going into that mass corruptor style. Wow. E-Legacy stepping onto creep with a mass charge lot Void Ray carrier army. Ling Roach Ravager to deal with the Zealots, but these Corruptors in a really good position. They are fighting interceptors at the moment. They're starting to target down these Voids, which is going to do really well. Oh, the carriers are going to actually recall out here. 2 carriers get home relatively safely, while still 2 Adept here on the ground. No workers going down, but both players' supplies getting a little bit reset. These Zealots around this 5th base location are going to start to work their way through this hatchery. A few Lings show up just to distract them momentarily, but that's not going to be enough to deal with these Zealots. I wonder if this hatchery is going to fall. There's 13 more Lings about to pop. One Roach actually hatches right in the Zealot fire, and wow, I mean these Zealots, how many kills? 5 kills. 6 kills, 7 kills, but the other 2, wow, feels bad for a couple of these units that have just hatched so unfortunately. I mean, these drones are getting transferred. 18 more drones going down. Corruptor is trying to find those carriers on the other side of the map. They're not going to find those carriers. More drones going down at this 5th base location. There's just nothing on the ground to deal with the Zealot run bar. But now there's units on the ground to deal with the Zealot run bar, but at the cost of 32 drones. Wow. 35 drones. Wow. Where are these drones going down? There's more Zealots here. Wow. Zealots getting so much done. 4 more Zealots getting transferred to this 4th base location, but Mike hasn't even had a chance to remake those drones yet. They actually right click down on the hatchery and they're not going to get it, but those Zealot run bars have done so much on the side of E-Legacy. Mike sending his army across the map. He's like, well, definitely feels like he needs to do some counter harassment here. I mean, I wouldn't mind these Corruptors doing their caustic spray on. Oh yeah, you don't want to be engaging into that. Corruptors taking on the Viper, taking on the Void Rays here, but I mean, there's not much to deal with the ground army here of Mike. A few Ultras are showing up here with chitinous plating on the way, but yeah, I wish these Corruptors had done this a little bit earlier. It looks like there's going to be enough DPS to take out this Nexus. That's a kill, not a cancel. Corruptors are going to get out of there, but on the opposite side of the map, the 4th base location does go down. Are these Ultras going to hatch in time to actually do something? And is 3 Ultras going to be enough? That's the real question I'm asking here. I mean, Mike really needs to consolidate his army before he engages here. Oh, some nice Ravagers popping. Like to see some good Corrosive Bars. Oh, Corrosive Bars don't really hit on too much. The Corruptors go down, and I think this counter attack here by Mike. Oh, some great Corrosive Bars there, taking out the couple of those Stalkers. But I think there's just too much DPS here on the side of the Protoss player. Yeah, GG gets called. E-Legacy takes game 1. Wow, I mean, Mike did a really good job of dealing with the Sky Toss there on the side of E-Legacy, but E-Legacy sort of just switched into a bit of a ground pound army, and sort of just ran the momentum just on his side and took game one. Mike losing 38 drones to that zealot run bars. That was a little bit I wouldn't say shocking, but just a bit iffy. Probably shouldn't have lost that many drones, but those zealots really getting so much done, and yeah, E-Legacy just capitalizing on that. Yeah, go gets called, and 2000 atmospheres is going to be our next map. First time this evening, surprisingly, but yeah, happy to bring it to you guys. Wonder what's going to happen. Wonder what players are going to do when this map is out of the map pool. I'm actually genuinely curious as to what's going to happen to the map pool when this map is no longer around, because it's definitely been around for quite some time. I beg your pardon, everybody. I seem to have pushed the wrong key and I've been muted this entire time. Wow. No flames in the chat, please. Missed the play intros. You missed my wonderful voice for the first 2 minutes of this game. I do apologize. I was saying middle of the road from these two players. Nothing too crazy happening. Both gases, third base about to be taken now. And yeah, it's probably a good thing I check now before we get into some really serious action. And I'm still muted. You guys have missed me this entire time. Saying middle of the road, and you don't get more middle of the road than Gateway expand into Cybercore into Stargate. So yeah, we'll see what this game 2 has in store for us. I mean, E-Legacy did 2-0 his first Zerg opponent in this tournament, and is looking to do the same here. Mike played a really good game 1 there, just didn't have anything to deal with the ground pound army that E-Legacy was able to throw at him there. Cool little fish, man. I'll never get over the tiny little pink fluorescent fish on this map. Really cute. But I do apologize once again for my silence. Yeah, nothing too exciting. Well, I suppose the most exciting thing that I have for you guys is that there's going to be a Phoenix opener. One Phoenix on the map so far, second Phoenix on the way. So he's going to come in here to scout it. Whoop, there we go. Phoenix gets one shot off, and the OV is now going to see. It's Phoenix OV. Should definitely be able to tell that there's another Phoenix building out of that Stargate. So triple Phoenix so far. There's a couple of these lings. Yeah, they try to be a little bit annoying, but not enough lings to cancel that third base. I would really like to see a few more lings if the Protoss plays. The Protoss plays taking the third base, like pretty much stock standard, and you really want to punish that. I think you do need a few more lings than the stock standard 4 or 6. You should want to go up to about 12, 14, 16 lings if you really want to keep cancelling that third base, and I really don't mind that. I think we saw it in the last CSO Cup where one of the Zerg players did a really good job of just keeping that Protoss player pinned back on 2 bases, really denying the amount of time the Protoss player could spend on 3 bases, and it paid off. I feel bad for not knowing the player's name, but I was well impressed by that play. This Mass Phoenix style is going to be nice to just sit at the fringes here and pick away at a couple drones. Nice get in, get out. As yeah, there's going to be Phoenix into carriers, so yeah, E-Legacy not playing any games, really trying to get into that golden armada as soon as possible. I mean, on the side of Mike, we've got 10 queens so far, and that's about it in terms of army supply. So 10 queens and 10 more drones in production. Mike really looking to get up to like a really nice high drone count, and these Phoenix now going to show themselves on creep. They probably enough to pick up this queen and deal with this queen in no time, but yeah, they look like they're on the hunt for overlords. Couple more queens. Ooh. Phoenix goes down. There are a couple queens here to start nibbling away at these Phoenix. Let's see if there's. Oh, we're going to be able to get an overlord, maybe 2 OVs. Oh, some good transfusions to keep that overlord alive, and yeah, these queens. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a dead queen. A nice easy pick up and get out. Yep, and this one too. Wow, feels bad. 2 queens going down. Maybe not. Oh, the one that actually picked up gets taken out by the spore crawler. That's quite nice. But yeah, E-Legacy doing a pretty good job of being really annoying with these queens. Is another 2 carriers in production, shields on the way, and the Templar Archives only firing up now. So Twilight Council, I beg your pardon, firing up now. So yeah, ooh, into 6 more gates. So I think these carriers are just going to be like a red herring and just be like, oh, look at us, we're going into Sky Toss. As I mean, it is being read that Sky Toss is going to be the answer here from Mike. So Spire gets thrown down, but 7 more gates in production. I think, as I said, I think these carriers are just going to be a red herring and say, oh, look, I've made 4 carriers. Blah blah blah, and then it's gonna switch it up into ground. But I think Mike might have learned from the first game. 13 roaches in production, roach speed about to finish, plus 1 missile attacks on the way. So either Mike wants to get something done, or he's learned from the last game and definitely doesn't want to be making the same mistakes. Overseer is going to catch these carriers. Oh, I say that. Yep. Well, Mike is paying attention. There's not his Zealot in the wall, and yep, Mike is now going to see that there are 4 carriers, so I do expect pretty much consistent corruptor production from now. 4 carriers and a void, so it's definitely some sort of armada, golden armada that you do need to respect. There are 13 corruptors, 6 more in production. I'm now going to go up to about 20 odd corruptors. E-Legacy stepping onto creep here, so definitely letting Mike know exactly where he is at the moment. As yeah, I think there's going to be enough roaches to take out the zealots on the ground. Yeah, this corruptor's doing a good job. That's going to force an instant recall, and does. Yeah, most of the Phoenix going down as well. Wow, Mike doing a pretty good job of cleaning that one up. And yeah, like I said, it's now constant corruptor production, and I don't want Mike to overmake corruptors like he did in the first game. The corruptors do need to target down these carriers themselves. Recall has been used, so the corruptors doing a pretty good job of targeting down these carriers and chasing them down completely. The interceptor count, oh, shield battery overcharge gets used, and that's the cue for those corruptors to get out of there. But yeah, this 4th base is going to fall, and that's really good on the side of Mike. Mike going up to 6 bases, 2, 4, 6 bases. Yeah, whereas E-Legacy is now stuck back down onto 3. 1 void in his interceptors is going to be enough to turn this back, but yeah, +1 flyer attacks on the way here, so this is just what I was worried about. Mike is really investing into the anti-air, and oh, the robo only gets started now for E-Legacy, so E-Legacy gonna not hit like he did in that first game with a couple immortals and stuff, but yeah, we will see what Mike has in store here. There's a couple zealots, some roaches. Yeah, E-Legacy definitely wanting to get back to some static D. Corruptors going down rather quickly, but there's enough roaches on the ground here to deal with this ground army, and yeah, these corruptors dealing with these carriers rather quickly. Shield battery overcharge, not able to keep that one carrier alive. Doesn't look like it's going to be able to keep this carrier alive either. Yeah, that carrier goes down, and looks like Mike is doing a pretty good job here. I'm not too sure what Mike has on the ground, but there's only a few roaches left. But yeah, the corruptors do use their caustic spray to take out the Nexus, and E-Legacy is now down to 2 bases. Yeah, I mean, it'll be good for Mike to just sort of stick back, build a couple units, get a really decent army up, and see what he can get done. Oh, good save there. A few stalkers warp in just to stop those. Ooh, and E-Legacy cancels whatever was producing out of that Stargate. So yeah, Mike's starting to build a bit of a bank. He is maxed, and yeah, Lings are definitely not the answer here. Yeah, Lings probably a good idea to get these Lings into this 3rd base location, start taking out these structures and whatever you have over here. Nothing being built out of those Stargates, so corruptors are kind of dead weight at the moment, unless they can just caustic spray down. Yeah, they caustic spray down the starports. I'd like to see them caustic spray down the Nexi. But as I said, I mean, Mike's definitely learned from the first game, saying, well, you know, you're not going to just transition into Skytoss. Oh, caustic spray down the Nexus. Oh, that's nice. Oh, only 3 of them have their caustic spray available. But I mean, roaches. I'd like to see Mike go into some hydras, and I mean, Lear's done. Yeah, the natural going into hive. There are a couple of high Templar being warped in, so yeah, let's have a look at the upgrades. No storm, so I mean those high Templar have to be for Archons. Yeah, the high Templar are for Archons, but as I said, I'd like to see Mark go into some. Ooh, some stalkers caught on move command. Yeah, I'd like to see the roaches target down the yeah, the immortal. There we go. Roaches target down the immortal. Robo goes down, and I think, yeah, Mike's got this game in the bag. Nice. Mike leveling up the series 1-1, and yeah, Legacy not going to get the same 2-0 he got in the first game of this tournament. Mike doing a really good job of fighting back and taking us to a game 3. Yeah, well impressed by the way Mike handled that, and definitely learned from the first game, saying that he's not going into straight into Sky Toss the way he did the first game. So, or only going into Sky Toss, and Mike getting caught with only Corruptors and not actually able to deal with the ground pound army. I really like the transition and the dedication to coming back in and checking caustic spraying down those stargates and actually saying, well, if you want to make stargate units again, you're going to have to remake your stargates, and just ensuring that the tech of E-Legacy is going to be ground so that it can actually make the units to deal with that. Using the caustic spray on those corruptors is also really nicely done, taking out the structures and making sure that they're not completely useless. Yeah, I mean, wow, this game's kicking down, and yeah, let's get right into it. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner, pink Zerg drones took the last map. We're definitely looking to build on that momentum. It's Team Mike AME. His opponent in the top right hand corner for Oscillatory Universe. It is E-Legacy. Yep. Well, I mean, no pool first year out of Mike, so I wonder how middle of the road we're gonna get this time. Yep. Gateway Scout. This expansion into cybernetics core. Really, nothing overly exciting happening. I mean, that probe is threatening a cannon rush, but that's not going to happen. There's no forge. Okay, Mike not overreacting. Only sending the one drone just to check exactly what's going on. And E-Legacy just patrolling outside the natural there. I mean, yeah, not all that much going on at the moment. The real deviation from the first two games is it's going to be a Stalker first on the side of Legacy. Warp Gate not getting chronoed. Nothing getting chronoed at the moment. And a Twilight Council, so looks like we're skipping the Stargate. Third hatch goes down pretty much on time on the side of Mike. Oh,
Game paused.
please pause. Lag from someone, so we'll see if we can get this sorted for you.
Game resumed.
Yep, I mean, looks like the ping has been resolved, no lag here, as yeah, we're following Mike's camera, and yeah, we're back. Like I said, no Stargate this time. Looks like we're gonna get charge. Looks like Legacy's just gonna go for a pretty much a nice ground pound. Really strong Protoss army. I do wonder how many gateways we're gonna see before he moves out, if there's gonna be. I mean, he has the 4 links. Gonna start to work away. Oh, he starts to nibble away at this nexus and try to pull that adept out of place. Does pull the adept out of position, but I mean 3 links, as I said in the last game, isn't going to be enough to get the cancel on that 3rd base. But like I said in the last game, you're going to need quite a few more units, and Mike has definitely brought a few more of these units around. Definitely enough units. Yeah, he's just going to right click down the nexus, get the cancel, and oh yeah, gets the cancel. And I mean, that's all Mike has to do really, is just to keep that Protoss down on 2 bases for quite some time. Ooh, there's going to be a Ling Queen Nidus. There's a Stalker spotting over there, and there's an Overlord over there. So unfortunately, Mike's not going to get the Nidus position he wants. But oh, that's really unfortunate. Tries to drop that Nidus outside of the Stalker range, but yeah, 1 Stalker is not going to be enough to kill that Nidus. A few Zealots show up, and the Nidus does go up. There's Queens. Oh, good transfusions on the Nidus. Queen, Ling, Nidus all in. I think it might just pay off here. Probes get pulled. Some good transfusions. Yeah, this is looking pretty good here on the side of Mike. This is a really good build. Really good pressure here. A lot of links going down, but I mean the probes are all gone, and I think Mike just needs to get a few more links into this Nidus, and it's going to be in a pretty good position. A few more warp-ins here on the side of E-Legacy. Oh, just in time. That pylon goes down and does supply block E-Legacy, but E-Legacy is losing a few units here. There are some queens. Some good transfusions will be needed to keep these queens alive. So more links pop out just to soak some DPS here. Oh, a few drones show up to fight as well. Mike really looking to close this game out 2-1. There's 6 queens here. A few more links popping out as well. There's 6 queens against 3 adepts and 3 stalkers. And oh, it looks like this is a successful hold here on the side of E-Legacy. Mike's not out of it. But yeah, that was a really good pressure build there. Yeah, E-Legacy is gonna leave 1 Zealot just patrolling there. I don't think that's gonna be enough links to get the kill on this Nexus, and yep, Mike seems to think so too. Decides he's gonna head back home. I mean, I'm well surprised that Nidus went up, and it was a really good Nidus indeed, but Mike, even though he lost all those probes, did a really good Elixir, even though he lost all those probes, did a really good job of holding that. And oh man, these lings are just gonna run right into the natural here. Wow, that's really not something you want from E-Legacy's point of view. Some zealots will pin, and this is just going to be super annoying. A couple of these throws down a Nidus. I wonder if E-Legacy's seen it. Yeah, he has definitely seen it. It's going to be enough to deal with that Nidus for sure, but at the same time, 7 more probes going down. I think it was a little bit too cheeky to hope to get that Nidus down. Now that there's a dead spot in E-Legacy's vision in the main base, now would be a good time to throw it on Nidus, but Mike currently doesn't have the vision. That Overlord was probably picked off. But yeah, I mean the dust has settled and both players are even on work accounts. Yeah. Legacy throwing down the pylon just to make sure he has that vision in the main base. No, hallucinated Phoenix is gonna grant our vision there to get rid of that Overlord and stop all of Mike's vision on the other side of the map, but Mike definitely would have seen the Protoss moving out. Baneling nest is done and there's no baneling speed, so centrifugal hooks has not been started, and I mean that could play a really important role in this defense over here. Mike moving to the wrong base, no idea of this Protoss army coming up on the south side, and probably going to be there's a really fast queen and drone pool there. The charge of those zealots wasted. This War Prism though is in a pretty good position to warp in units. This hatchery is going to go down, but there's a lot of Roach Ravager here. Roach Ravager Queen. War Prism takes shots of, takes each one of those bowls, but I think there's going to be enough here on the side of Mike to hold this. Actually, as I say that, I mean there's still 3 Archons here, and yeah, these Archons are just tanking so much. Wow, one of these Archons has 64 shields, and yeah, I don't think there's going to be enough here on the side of Mike to deal with this Protoss army knocking on his door. The army supply is fairly even, but yeah, these Archons, I mean, if you could target down that Archon with minimal shields, 2 Archons actually have no shields at all, but another warp in, 7 Stalkers here on creep is, I think, just right in between these 2 bases is really unfortunate, and this is a position Protoss definitely wants to be in, splitting the Zerg's reinforcements up, and yeah, I don't think there's going to be enough here. Honestly, I don't think there's going to be enough. Oh, as I say that, Spinecrawler putting in some very serious work. Oh, another warp in of 7 Zealots, and we'll see if the 7 Zealots can tank. They are rather tanky boys, but we'll see. 4 Roaches in production here, 1 more Ravager. Oh, Zealots do charge in here, and oh, this might be another kill on the base here for Legacy. Mike trying to hold on here, tournament life on the line. Looks like he might just get the cleanup, but in the main base is the 1 Archon. 4 more Zealots being warped in the main mineral line as Zealots trying to work their way through this 3rd base hatchery. Archon goes down, and I think Mike just might have enough to hold on here, but I mean he's lost so much mineral mining time. Retaking that 4th base, but there's 4 more Zealots being warped in here. Legacy really just not playing any games, trying to keep the Zerg player on as few bases as possible. Oh, some corrosive bowls just missing their mark there. War Prism, Legacy doing a really good job of keeping the War Prism alive, but there's only 1 queen. There's 2 queens here on the side of Mike. Make that 1 queen on the side of Mike. Be another. Oh, it's going to be another warping over here. Couple Zealots on the low ground, couple Stalkers on the low ground, couple Stalkers on the high ground. Legacy being really cheeky with this War Prism, and there's just no anti-air here on the side of Mike to stop this. Some good corrosive bars get that War Prism, and I think this is a solid holder for Mike. 4 base Zerg against a 4 base Protoss. Wow, this is turning into be a banger of a series. There's an observer here, and I mean that observer is it's just so good, man. Just gonna see everything that's moving out of the natural base of Mike. Does see the army move out here, so might be aware that Mike is going to be moving across the map. I'd like to see a couple of these low HP roaches get morphed into Ravagers. I think those were the wrong ones, but yeah, Mike looking to hit as hard as possible and as soon as possible. Definitely corrosive barling down the Nexus, so really trying to keep your Legacy down onto 3 bases. Gets the Nexus, he's going to start to move out of there. Ooh, 4 Immortals, not something you want to be engaging with Roach Ravager, and Mike's going to try to get out there as soon as possible. What's the transition you have though for Mike? Is Mike just going to be stuck on Roach Ravager for a while? 3 spawns get thrown down, so... Oh, he's going to try to take this fight, but I mean... Yeah, 22 Lings in production. I think if Mike can get a solid surround with these Lings, he's going to be in a really good position, but... What's this? Oh, 2 Zealots. On the way, trying to do a little bit of a run bar. 2 Lings and a Roach trying to take on 2 Zealots. Oh, a couple Lings do show up and they do get a good surround, but not after probably a few too many land up going down. 4 more gates on the way. We're really in for a treat in this game 3. Oh, Mike, you really don't want to be pushing up that ramp. Oh, some Banelings show up. 2 Forges on the way here for E-Legacy, so... Oh, Mike cancelling some of those Banelings. E-Legacy's going to pick off the rest of these. Wow, feels bad, but I mean, E-Legacy's picking off Banelings. Mike's coming in to cancel this 3rd base again. So good corrosive bars. He's actually going to... Oh, is he going to get the Nexus? Yeah, gets a cancel on the Nexus, but his army's kind of pinned here. They really want to be... Oh, Immortals eating corrosive bars, but... yeah, one of the Immortals stays alive with 40 hull damage. 40 HP left, 40 hull HP left, and yeah, Mike gets a cancel on that 4th base Nexus again. Has a 5th hatchery of his own, and yeah, both these players playing really, really good. There's no transition though for Mike. Mike is on lair tech. He has the Nidus, not using the Nidus. Hydralisk Den, Lurker Den on the way. Grooved Spines is on the way here, so yeah, Grooved Spines is on the way, so oh, what a good hallucinated Phoenix. Sees the timing of that Lurker Den and sees the Hydralisk Den moving, so knows that Hydra Lurker is on the cards here. Lings, we're moving across the map, and yeah, they're now going to meet these units from the back. Quite a big arc here for on the side of E-Legacy. 5 Immortals in this army here, as I don't think this Roach Ravager army is going to be enough to deal with the DPS of what the Protoss has for us. +1 on the way for the Protoss. Only upgrade on the field for the Zerg is +1 melee, so both players lacking in upgrades this game. 16 minutes in, and 1-1 is going to finish up in a few seconds here on the side of E-Legacy, but no real upgrades on the side of the Zerg. Yeah. GG gets called, and I think Mike just sees way too much DPS on the side of the Protoss, and E-Legacy is going to take that 2-0. So, wow, what a crazy back and forth that one was, but yeah, E-Legacy getting the win, and yeah, GGWP gets called in the chat. As I'm gonna throw us into a quick little break and see if I can get our finals ready for you guys, or maybe the second semi-finals if the players are waiting. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in a moment with the next match of this CSO Contender 1, so stick around, I'll be back in a few. Hello everybody, welcome back. So, pretty sure you heard the countdown going on in the background there. There's our finals are ready to get underway. We're gonna have 11 versus Legacy. It's gonna be another PVZ for your viewing pleasure, but we'll see what these two players have in store for us. As looks like Elia's gonna pull out a cheeky little 12 pull. The orange Zerg drones. The top left hand corner, Berlingrad. It's Team Yashi's 11. His opponent in the bottom right hand corner from Oscillatory Universe. Red Protoss probes. It's E-Legacy. E-Legacy playing some really good PVZ. Playing some pretty good PVZ this tournament, and we'll see if he can continue against 11. So 11 played very well in the games I've seen, and we'll see what he can do in this. It's a 12 pull, and it is a drone mining out this mineral. So yep, E-Legacy just going down to see if there's a proxy hatch, but Legacy with absolutely no idea. Oh, he has an idea now that these lings are on the way across the map. There's a forge and a cybernetics core, but there's absolutely nothing in the wall. There's a zealot about to pop out, and oh, it is going to get chronoed, so the zealot's definitely going to make it out. And oh, the lings do get us around on the zealot. The zealot's repositioning a little bit, and oh, the lings do. Oh, what a nice pylon placement there. And another zealot is going to get chronoed out here, and I don't think these lings are going to be enough to. Oh, they're going to get the pylon. Oh, they're going to get the pylon. The lings get the pylon. Wow. What a nice catch there. I mean, this pylon does finish up just in time to seal off the wall, but there are some lings fighting some probes in the main base, and we're off to a really busy start here. The pylon goes down, and the zealot's in the choke. Another pylon's going to finish up here on the side of E-Legacy, who's throwing down a photon cannon eventually. But oh, the zealot does fall. I mean, there's two zerglings. They're not going to get too much done, but there's two zerglings out just outside the natural base here of E-Legacy, and this game has had a rocky start. This probe is probably just going to chill here and try to stop any zerglings coming through. 11 trying to macro out of this is up or down one drone, and as I say, trying to macro out of this really aggressive start here. There's still one unpowered gateway. Well, the only gateway is still unpowered, so there's no army units on the map of on the side of E-Legacy. But 11 turning off the aggression and turning on the eco, making drones. Is going to be supply block next time he tries to make some. Yeah, fires up an OV, fires up the one drone to supply block himself. But yeah, one creep tumor going forward, one creep tumor going back. As yeah, this game is chilling out a little bit. That OV finishes. 11 maxes out that supply. Another 2 OVs in production now. One pops and more drones. 11 just making drones. Knows he's done a pretty good job of slowing E-Legacy down. Has some pretty good OV placements. So should see pretty much anything that leaves the Protoss' base. There's a Void Ray on the way, so I mean, that is going to start to clear OVs. 11 needs to be careful not to lose too many OVs for vision. And yeah, this OV on the south side is going to make its way in. The Void Ray will pop to meet it, so no surprises there. It's going to be a Stargate Void Ray. We'll see second Void Ray in production pretty much immediately. 11 would have seen that. They are slowlings. Well, they were slowlings. They are fastlings now. They're not going to get too much done with the cannon and 2 adepts. It's really not too much that's going to get done. What they do manage to do is take out the probe that was going to start at third base, and these lings are just going to keep poking around. Probably just going to be in positions to see if there's any sort of units leaving the Protoss main base, and oh, that's going to be a dead Zergling. Unlucky, but I mean, yeah, 11 doing a pretty good job. Up to 5 gases at the moment. Hydralisk Den on the way. There's a Spore Crawler in every mineral line. So I mean, after such an aggressive start, there's oof. Man, that Void Ray gets out with some pretty serious hull damage. After a pretty aggressive start on the side of 11, there's not too much happening, but he is setting up here. Muscular Augment is the upgrade on the way for these Hydralisks. Is Legacy trying to get one of those extractors and trying to slow down the gas income here on the side of the Zerg. One Void Ray, 1 Queen. A Spore repositions, and a Spore and a Queen are definitely going to be enough to drop that Void Ray away. 11 banking a lot of money at the moment, hitting such a very serious supply block here. 81 out of 82, 6 OVs in production. Oh, 17 Hydras. Pretty much fills the supply block that he had. It is going to be supply blocked once again with that Overlord kill there by Legacy. So yeah, a lot of Hydras and Hydra speed on the way. I think Legacy is just going to try to Ling Hydra this game. 11 is just going to try to Ling Hydra this one, and yeah, you can actually see the movement different there. 2 Evos getting started now. Infestation Pit. That's pretty sure that was Void Ray speed that was that just finished up there. So yeah, let's see if Ling Hydra is going to be enough here on the side of 11 to 1-2 punch this Protoss player. The 2 Evos finish up, and it is going to be melee attack and missile attacks that are the 2 upgrades that are chosen here. Grooved spawns on the way for those Hydralisks, so they will get the range. Those Lings taking a really funny rally there. Could have given away what yeah, 11 was trying to do. Yeah, +1 on the way. Lings get in. +1 going to be denied. The cannon. Oh, all the probes getting pulled. The probes tanking so much for the voids, but 1 carrier does show up, and I think the probe's doing a really good job of tanking. There's 46 probes that went down. There's still Lings in the main base. I'm going to hop over there, see what these Lings are doing. There's a carrier here, so the carrier is going to get a solid cleanup of the Lings in the main base, but wow, 48 probes going down. That Ling Hydra attack really doing a lot of damage, but I mean, there are now 3 carriers. 11 will have seen there are now 3 carriers on the way, so I wonder what the answer is going to be for these carriers, or if it's just going to be Ling Hydra. Missile attacks on the way, carapace on the way. Yeah, like I say I'm interested into what 11's answer is going to be. Both of these players expanding towards the south side of the map. So 11's 5th base and E-Legacy's 4th base are now heading towards each other. 11 actually double expanding and taking the 12 o'clock position. So creep spread, not that great. Really not as far as it could be, but 11 is actually doing due diligence and opening up the destructible rocks in between. One Zealot start to chip away at this hatchery, and the voids and the 3 carriers, or the void and the 3 carriers, are now gonna show their hand. There should be a cancel. It was a kill. 11's attention obviously elsewhere. Throws down the Spire, and the first Viper is on the way. So Overlord speed, and Hive Tech is well underway. We'll see. These Hydras look really deadly, and yeah, we'll see if E-Legacy can hold on. I mean, losing 48 probes so early on in the game is actually a bit ridiculous, but done a good job at stabilizing here, and I don't think E-Legacy is out of the game by any means. Is down double the army supply, 48 army supply to 50 army supply to 103, but I mean, a couple bad engagements from E-Legacy and we'll have a very different game. Viper just consuming energy. Let's see what he wants to do with that, if it's going to be some yoinks. Well, there are 4 Vipers now. Wow. Let's just go 5 Vipers on the field. Well, we'll see if those Vipers are just going to do their abducts, or if we'll see a couple parasitic bombs go down. No infestors. No infestors just yet, so there won't be any fungals and parasitic bombs, but I do think those Vipers are going to be used for the abducts. I like the positioning of a couple Hydras over here at the 12 o'clock position. Yeah, Legacy hasn't actually, 11 actually hasn't taken this bottom base yet, but I don't mind the double expansion for this exact reason. If you lose one base, you can, you know, you'll keep the second base. The creep spread though, 12 minutes in, probably not the greatest, but we'll see what this mass Hydra army can do. Hydra Viper, so yeah, that's gonna do so much DPS at the moment. He's hitting before, oh, that Purification Nova was so good. Hitting before the Carapace upgrade is done, so that's going to be a very nice cleanup here on the side of E-Legacy. Actually, all the Archons are going down. There's no more Interceptors left in these carriers. I think if 11 just fights, probably win this. 28 more Hydras on the way. I would like to see some Lings added in, just as a bit of a tank for the Hydras. The Hydras obviously, I don't want to call them glass cannons, but they are a bit brittle, and they do need some sort of support. I mean, 11 really not messing around yet. Max supply, starting to build up a bank and going up to a greater spire. Wow, these queens actually pushing forward. Yeah, they're full energy. And yeah, adrenals on the way. Ooh, 11 actually cancelled the +1 melee and went for the Carapace, and is now restarting the melee. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. E-Legacy's taken the 5th base and is trying to saturate that, or has pretty much saturated that. Yeah, 11's in a pretty good position. Yeah, there's 2 Corruptors on the field, and those are definitely going to be for Broodlords, but yeah, this Hydra army's DPS is something else, and yeah, there we go. The DPS is, I mean, these Zealots aren't going to last very long. Those Disruptors are there. Purification Novas are obviously something the Hydras don't actually want to be fighting into. Yeah, 1 Purification Nova goes off, gets a few Hydralisks, 5 Vipers in production here. I mean, 11's in a pretty good position, maxed out again. I'd like to see 11 expand once more, even to the bottom or top, either direction. I really don't mind, but I think expanding is definitely what 11 needs to do, and he needs to start consuming parts of the map. I'd like to see him expand to both sides of the map, if I'm honest. But yeah, Adrenal's about to finish up. There's no lings on the map, 14 lings on the map to use that Adrenal. But yeah, a bunch of Hydras have split off, and they got to target right click down this Nexus, and now they're free to attack everything else that gets warped in to assist with that. As the main army is still here positioned at this 4th base location. There's 5 disruptors here, so I don't think 11 really wants to be engaging into that. I think it's just going to be a game of starving out the Protoss player. These Hydras sort of left to their own. Yeah, now there's a little bit of control. They are going to get rally to the north side of the map just to distract the army, but yeah, they do rally onto the high ground, and yeah, these Zealots do give chase. I think those Zealots are going to do a pretty good job of cleaning up those Hydras. They do get into a little bit of a choke, but it's not going to be enough to keep those alive. 4 Broodlords on the way. There are Vipers, Broodlords, Hydralisks. The transfusions on those Spore Crawlers are really a nice touch here. Protoss players going to try to take out some of these creep tumors. Some good purification novas go off, and some good abducts here. The carriers get taken out, I was going to say pretty much immediately. But yeah, the last carrier goes down. No, not the last carrier. There's a few more here, but there are some Broodlords in the mix, and I don't think there's really anything to deal with these broods at the moment. There's 4 broods, a few corruptors. Are going to start taking out these interceptors. Once the interceptors go down, the carriers are pretty much dead weight. But I do like the addition of the Colossi. Colossi are pretty good at dealing with light, so they are going to do pretty good against the Hydras, and they're probably going to do well against these broodlings that go down. But there's really not much of an answer for these Broodlords other than the Stalkers that are on the ground, and there's not much of an answer for the Stalkers with those disruptors around. So this is going to be a really tense fight at the moment. Legacy's done a really good job of keeping himself in the game, and I like this little zealot run bar. This zealot run bar via the Stalkers can actually pull forward, take out these Broodlords, and Legacy's actually going to get the cleanup here. Yeah, it's another dead Viper, and 11 has nothing on the ground to deal with this ground army, to deal with the disruptors, the Stalkers, the zealots. So there are 4 more Broodlords on the way, but like I said, 11 had that map presence and didn't expand, and is now mined out of the main, almost mined out of his natural. 3rd base is double saturated. 4th base is 1.5 saturation. 5th base, that's almost double saturation as well. And yeah, 11 just doesn't have anything on the ground to deal with what E-Legacy has. There's 1 Tempest here, which is, I mean, 1 Tempest is great, but it's not going to be enough to deal with everything else. Otherwise, yeah, these Broodlords kind of left to their own. I mean, is there blink? There's no blink, so Broodlords are going to be kind of okay if they just throw down a couple Broodlings and get out of there, and throw down more Broodlings and get out of there. Broodlords will be kind of okay, but baits out of purification over. That's really good. These Broodlords are actually doing so much here. Wow, I mean, I can't believe how much these Broodlords are actually getting done. There's no answer to the Broodlords. There's no blink, there's nothing. The Broodlords are just chewing through this entire army. Nothing's happening over there. Wow, the Broodlords just took out that entire army, which feels kind of bad on the side of E-Legacy, because E-Legacy was actually gaining so much momentum there, and now all of a sudden there's nothing left. High Templar are morphing into Archons, but that's not going to get too much done, and Broodlords are just really going uncontested. These Archons aren't going to be able to get past all the Broods. Lings are now streaming in, and even though Legacy is up in bases at the moment, still trying to get stuff done. Shield battery overcharge isn't going to be enough. These Zealot warping on the north side here. He's going to get a lot of damage. He's going to clear out this base, but at the same time, E-Legacy is probably going to lose this base on the south side. He's building one Tempest at a time, and I don't know if one Tempest at a time is going to be enough to get the job done here. Corruptors, in the meantime, are just going to start to caustic spray down everything in the main base here of E-Legacy, and well, now there's a Tempest. There's nothing to protect these Broodlords. I think once the Corruptors are done, they'll just step in and just carry on, or step in and protect these Broodlords. But these Broodlords, yeah, as I said, the Corruptors are now going to step in, protect the Broodlords, and there's really nothing to contest these Broods. I think this game 1 is done. 11's going to take it, and yeah, it feels bad. The Legacy was in a really good position for quite a bit of time there, but those Broodlords just went uncontested and absolutely obliterated that army of E-Legacy, and 11 takes game 1. Yeah, I mean, that was a really good PVZ. A really good PVZ here, and I think those Broodlords going uncontested was probably the biggest thing there. I think if E-Legacy had Blink and was able to blink all of those Stalkers and target fire down those Broodlords just evaporate, and E-Legacy is able to continue onwards. But yeah, as I said, those Broodlords went uncontested, and that's pretty much all she wrote. Broodlords were just able to continue on, and pretty much won the game there for 11. I mean, it feels... yeah, I mean, that's just... pretty much, as I said, pretty much all she wrote. Feels bad for E-Legacy, who got himself back into a really strong position, but yeah, he's just got to put that game out of his mind and head into the next game with a clear conscience, a clear mind, and a clear conscience that he did a really good job in that one, and yeah, unfortunately didn't take the win. Let's get into this one, and I'll fill you guys in. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Hardwire, the orange Zerg drones for Team Yashi. It is 11. His opponent in the top right hand corner for Oscillatory Universe, once again, and hopefully not for the last time, it's the Red Protoss player E-Legacy. So some of you eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed that the scores are sitting at 2-1. So players have asked to make it a best of 3. And there are other commitments and that people have to attend to, and so we've awarded a point to both players. So it is essentially a best of 3 that they will play, but there's a best of 5 that will be scored, so they've each been awarded a point, and we will play the 3 maps as agreed for both players. So best of 5s in the CSO, well, finals in the CSO Cups and contenders are best of 5s, but are real life things that we have to consider, and both players have agreed. Oh, it's around on the probe. Oh, and the probe gets out. Nice. Very, very nice. Probe gets out with 5 HP on the hull. But yeah, as I said, there are real life things that we have to consider, and the players are happy to play best of 3. As I said, hopefully not for the last time will we see. Hey, hey, hey! What a spray. Hopefully not for the last time will we see Legacy this afternoon or evening. But yeah, let's see what this game has in store for us. Legacy's played 2 very good PVZs before this one, and 11 doing a good job of taking E-Legacy to Hive Tech and beyond. So no Stargate, second gateway instead on the side of E-Legacy, and we'll see what happens. Is pretty early robo and another gateway in the main base, so with absolutely nothing to stop this Overlord from coming in and getting a solid scout. 11's going to get all the information he wants, but without spotting this pylon in the main base, he's going to get all the information he needs. Huh. I'm a little worried, to be honest with you. I am a little worried. 3 gates finishing up right now. Is there? No. 1 more gateway finished up right now. Warp gate's about to finish for these 3. 2 more gates on the way in the main. Oh, a gateway gets built here in the main of 11. 11 still has absolutely no idea this is going to happen. Another gateway gets built here in the main, so those are going to be extremely fast warp-ins. 1 stalker clears that Overlord, so that OV has no idea what's going on. 2 more gateways on the way. Wow, Legacy is looking to hit, and looking to hit really hard. I really like this from Legacy. It's really cheeky, and definitely his tournament life is on the line, so he doesn't want to be mucking about. This isn't an all-in build, but it's definitely a build that 11 should be somewhat concerned about. There's an Overlord positioned at the triangle base. There's a Zergling positioned at the 12 o'clock position. And sees that 11 he sees that Legacy isn't going up to 3 bases. What's he doing? Legacy's warping in a ton of adepts in the main base here. Oh my lord. This is the first time 11's catching any wind of it. These adepts are just going to start to massacre these drones. They do shade into the natural. There are quite a few roaches here, so I mean 11 is not completely defenseless in this position, but 10 drones going down so far, and yeah, these shades are just going to chase these drones back and forth, back and forth. I mean, this is a pretty decent cleanup here on the side of... No! Oh, now 11 knows what's going on. And yeah, Sentry and a couple Zealots are here, but I don't think this is going to be enough. 11, I think, might just have too many Roaches and Ravagers here to defend this. Yeah, I think 11's done a pretty solid job of clearing this up, and yeah, he is down. He's down 20 workers, 19 workers at the moment, so Not in the greatest of positions, but that was a pretty serious attack. And yeah, I mean, it got a lot done, but it didn't get too much done. Obviously, 11 fully walled off his natural base there to stop those depths or anything getting out or in, and so has to destroy some structure to get out there. But 11 in a pretty good position at the moment, catching up in that drone count. +1 missile attacks on the way, but I don't think +1 missile attacks is going to finish by the time this attack hits. Well, as I say that, there's really not that much here. I mean, there's a few roaches and ravagers, and E-Legacy definitely has more than enough to deal with this. There's two immortals, a couple sentries, some stalkers, some adept. It's definitely not enough here to break the Protoss position. Roach speed on the way. Yeah, E-Legacy firing up 11 firing up 10 drones. Yeah, 11. Just going to saturate everything that it can. 1633. What do we have here? 1333. So I'm sure 3 more drones will make their way to that mineral line. 19 out of 16. We'll probably take a couple extra gases. E-Legacy's looking to move across the map. Got 3 mortals. 4th one in production. 11's kind of supply blocked. How much lava does he have? 8 lava now, and this Overseer is going to see this move out. Oh, good corrosive bars. He's going to delay this attack just a tiny little bit, but I mean, this is a really, really strong Protoss attack that's coming forward here. Oh, eat some corrosive bars there. Oh, nice force field there, stopping any reinforcements coming from the natural in the main. Good corrosive bar spread. Oh, is actually going to force the Protoss just to disengage for a few moments there, but yeah, oh, good corrosive bar spread once again, forcing the Protoss to really disengage and re-engage. But I think oh, eating a few corrosive bars there, maybe one too many. 12 more roaches in production here on the side of 11. E-Legacy really trying to do it all with this roach stalker, this immortal stalker sentry push. Quite a lot of units going down. This one immortal alive here with 9 HP. We'll see exactly what we'll see if 11 can actually hold on here. One of these immortals. Oh man, how is that immortal alive? 1 HP. 1 HP. One of these drones, just one of these drones needs to hit this immortal. One immortal goes down. There's 2 immortals and a couple stalkers here. Roaches not wanting to engage these immortals. A couple broodlings pop out. A 3rd immortal shows up. Force field on the natural ramp. Yeah, GG gets called, and wow, E-Legacy does it with a really strong ground push. The great corrosive bars there, man. Like the 11 doing a pretty good job of forcing E-Legacy to disengage, and really making E-Legacy work for that. But E-Legacy doing more than enough, not just enough, more than enough. That 4th immortal did show up to the party, and 4th immortal shows up and actually makes a little bit of a difference there. And yeah, looks like we're going the distance. We are going to go to a game 5. Game 3 is the players requested, but a game 5 is what is going to be scored. The score is 2-2, and this is the final map of the CSO Contender 21. 11 versus E-Legacy. These players giving us a spectacle and a really nice PVZ, the 3rd one of the evening. But I mean, they haven't been disappointing at all. And speaking of not being disappointing, in the top right hand corner of Glittering Ashes, ooh, going for a double gas with the orange Zerg drones for Team Yashi. It's 11. A little extractor trickaroo, and his opponent in the bottom right hand corner for Oscillatory Universe Red Protoss probes played a banger the last game, looking to take that momentum forward. The Red Protoss probes, it's E-Legacy. Wow, so I mean 11 is doing something rather interesting. Has skipped that initial overlord. The build looks kind of standard, but has skipped that initial overlord, and I do wonder why. Don't think I've seen this before. No, I don't think I've seen this, so yeah, everything looks pretty much standard. I do wonder if he's just forgot that overlord or what exactly happened there, but everything to me looks pretty standard, and I do wonder if it looks pretty standard to E-Legacy, so yeah, we will see exactly what this map has in store for us. Another heart spray. Cute. Very, very cute. Drone gonna make its way to the third base. Throw down their third base hatch, and Legacy's gonna scout it. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going into a macro game. Yeah, I mean, quite a few Lings making their way across the map here. Looks like 11 is just going to try pull the trigger here and just go for a massive Ling flood. I think E-Legacy's smelt it and has a full wall off going on. The rest of the Lings show up. They do get the Adept. That's not a full wall. There's a space at the back there. It's a shield battery. That's a good call there from E-Legacy. E-Legacy doing a pretty good job of holding on here. There are a lot of Lings here. This looks like the cybernetics core is going to fall. Cybernetics core is just going to open up a bit of surface area on the Stalker and the Adept. Those two are going to fall as well. Shield battery overcharge not being used, might not be necessary, to be fair. More Lings showing up here, and I don't know if yeah, an Adept pops out on the other side of the wall. Yeah, these Lings just gonna work away at the structures, and we'll see if this is gonna be enough DPS to get through the structures before that one Adept actually does much. Two Zealots now get fired up, but are they gonna show up in time, or the Zerglings actually going to make it through the gateways before they do pop out? I think that is the case. The Zerglings make it through the gateway. Oh, that probe closes the door just in time. Shield battery overcharge, a hell of a drug, but there's just too many Lings here. The Lings do get in. They're going to go up into the main, and yeah, they're just going to start to work away at these probes in the main base. A Voyager is on the way here, but there's a lot of Lings trying to get into the map here. There's E-Legacy's done a good job of walling off the main base here, walling off the natural, making sure that no more Lings can get in here. There's a lot of probes here to fight these Zerglings, and I think a lot of these probes are going to go down if they just fight these Zerglings head on. 10 go down so far. There's nothing being built out of the gateways. The wall is now open once again. Nothing in production on the side of the Zerg players, so 11 not making anything, really trying to get everything done with these Zerglings. 10 more Lings now in production. There's an Adept, a Zealot, and 25 probes that are now trying to fight these Zerglings. The probes on hold position as the Zealot and the Adept goes down, but there's still Lings in the main base here. There's 23 probes to the 17 drones, so E-Legacy is still up in workers, but yeah, they they are now starting to dwindle. There's 12 left. There's still Lings in the main base. I mean, I can't believe these Lings are still going. Ah, E-Legacy so diligent at closing off the wall, making sure more Lings don't actually make it in. Lings now working through the pylons, trying to get in, really trying their hardest to get in. Another pylon's gonna fall. Unfortunately, it's not the one that gains access to the base, but there's a void ray now here. So, E-Legacy does have that stability available. These Lings just need to target down that pylon and they will make their way into the base. Pylon goes down. More Lings coming in here. I mean, the 11 is just trying to finish this game with a Ling flood, an endless Ling flood. More Lings getting in. GG's get called an 11. Looking to close this game out quickly and does. Wow. What a series from these two players. What a series. I mean, it goes the distance by score, and it goes the distance according to players. They wanted a best of 3, they played a best of 3, and best of 3 is what we got. So I'm I'm well impressed with what we got given, and I hope you guys are too. That was a banger of a series. Congrats to 11 for winning this Contender 21. Well done to E-Legacy for getting second, and I don't think our bronze actually our bronze our bronze playoff did happen, and I believe, let me just throw that onto screen quickly, and I believe it was AIM took it. Well done to Mike AME. He took the bronze match playoff 2-0. So yeah, congrats to him for getting third place in this week's contender. From myself, Linglad, and on behalf of Team CSO, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really do appreciate your viewership, and yeah, shout out to everyone, to all the players for participating. Without them, definitely was a treat from our side, and it's always a pleasure to cast. Thanks to the players for making this happen. I do appreciate the opportunity to bring this StarCraft to you guys week in and week out. If any viewers amongst us are looking for a platinum and below game, we call it Metal League Madness. We do have a tournament on tomorrow. Let me see if I can quickly throw a link where you can sign up to that. There's a tournament that we call the Metal League Madness. The challenge link is in the chat. So if you are a bronze, silver, gold or platinum player and you would like to participate in a tournament, there is one on tomorrow, Metal League Madness number 6. So feel free to sign up. It is a Metal Leagues and below only tournament, so won't be facing any of the guys we saw today, but it is if it's something you're interested in, if you want to participate in a tournament, like a nice entry level tournament, this is your opportunity. And otherwise, from myself, Linglad, and behalf of Team CSO, thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you again tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, well then next time. Next time being excuse me. Next time Next time we host a contender or a cup will be in 2 weeks' time, June the 4th. Team the CSO Cup number 44 will be on June the 4th, so we'll have Metal League and Madness tomorrow. Nothing the weekend after, but June the 4th will be our open MMR tournament, CSO Cup, where any player of any MMR is welcome to participate. And yeah, the week after that will be Contender 22. So yeah, look forward to seeing you all next time. And once again, from behalf of myself and Team CSO, thanks for watching.